Good morning, students. Hope you are all safe and good. You all had your breakfast today and you are ready to have your lunch, right? So, your mother prepared what all? Rice, dals, groundnut chutney. So, we are having groundnuts here, rice, everything we have. All these food ingredients do we have? Rice, groundnuts, dals, all these are prepared in our food items. What are these food items contain? We get energy from the food. These items contains proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, the fruits which we have here, tomatoes, citric acid in lemon, guava, these are all the fruits we have. We intake for the energy, to get energy. So, what am I talking about? That is organic compounds, organic chemistry. Yeah, today we are dealing with introduction to the organic chemistry. We will cover history of organic chemistry, chemistry of carbon, types of organic compounds, applications of these organic compounds, COVID-19 in the end. So, way back we used to have medicines and human extracted from these medicines are extracted from the plants and animals. The medicines are extracted from plants and animals. For example, willow bark, tulsi, neem, amla, these are the medicinal plants which we use in the olden days. Animals, and we also use animal urines like cow urine, donkey milk, these are also used as a medicines in the olden days. So, Berzelius in the olden days, like in the 18th century, Jacob Berzelius classified chemical compounds into organic and inorganic. What are organic compounds? Once they are originated from the organic living matter, that is originating from the living organisms or once living matter. Whereas inorganic materials, they are coming directly from the minerals and non-living matter. So, this Berzelius also gave, he is a Swedish chemist in 1815, he said that there is a vital force in the living organism which will synthesize these organic compounds. So, there is a mysterious force inside our living body which gives us which synthesize these organic compounds. But later on, Friedrich Wöhler in 1828, German scientist, he has discovered this organic compound from the lab, that is from the ammonium cyanate, which is the inorganic compound. He formed urea. This is the organic compound which he prepared from the inorganic compound at 60 degrees centigrade, by heating 60 degrees centigrade. Ammonium cyanide is again formed by ammonium chloride and silver cyanate. So, this is prepared by this compound, ammonium chloride and silver cyanate is prepared, and he prepared ammonium cyanate and he heated this to urea. This is the organic compound which he prepared outside the living organism. So, he rejected this vital force theory. In the next slide, what is organic chemistry? It is a study of carbon containing compounds. For example, methane, ethane, ethine, etc. Why this carbon has a only different branch of chemistry? It it forms bonds, long chain bonds. So, we will later on study about the unique property of catenation. So, what is the carbon in the periodic table? In the periodic table, in the second period, it lies in the second period and 14th group. What are the elements of the carbon? The elements of the carbon group are silicon, germanium, tin and lead. The elements in the group are silicon, germanium, tin and lead. So, these contains, the carbon's atomic number is 6, atomic weight is 12. So, here the 2 electrons are present in the outermost p orbital, whereas this carbon has 6 electrons and 12 atomic number. Atomic number, atomic weight. So, the general electronic configuration of that group is NS2, NP2. Here it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. In the excited state, the carbon, the s electron to s2 will shift to the p electron, 2p x1, 2p y1 and 2p y1 and 2p z1. So, this forms a tetravalent compound. This s electron will shift to the z electron. So, it forms a tetravalent. It has a 4 electrons in the outermost shell. And carbon also forms covalent bonds with the other carbon atoms and also other elements. It can also forms triple bond, double bond, triple bond with the other elements. In the next slide, why this carbon has high catenation tendency? Why this has high catenation tendency? What is this catenation? Catenation is the self-linking of the carbon atoms. Linkage of atoms of the same elements to form a longer or branched chains. It will link to form a long chains or a branched chains. To form a branched chains, but the carbon should have all the four bonds and perform an octet configuration. So, the linkage of atoms of same elements form a long and branched chains. What is the carbon has? That is tetravalency, atomic size. Due to the atomic size, diffused p orbital in the carbon atom, whereas other atoms do not have diffused p orbitals. It contains d and f orbitals also. So, they do not perform diffused p orbitals. For example, other elements like silicon, phosphorus and sulfur also perform catenation. The CC bond is also very strong here. The bond energy of CC bond is very strong, whereas the strongest of this CC bond, other elements are also found. They are carbon, hydrogen. These are more stronger bonds, carbon, fluorine and carbon and carbon, fluorine with other elements, oxygen. So, other elements are also performing, the other elements in the group also perform catenation, fluorine and phosphorus. The carbon also gives us inorganic compounds. What are the inorganic compounds which it can give is carbonates, cyanides and allotropes of carbon are diamond and graphite. What are the allotropes of carbon? They are diamond and graphite. So, next we will go to types of organic compounds. What are the types of organic compounds? Here we have aliphatic, that is acyclic open chain compounds, and cyclic closed compounds. Okay, organic compounds are divided into open chain and closed chain compounds. So, open chain compounds are hydrocarbons which we have. In that we have saturated and unsaturated. Saturated and unsaturated compounds. What are the unsaturated compounds and saturated compounds? They are alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. Saturated, they have only single bonds, whereas unsaturated you have multiple bonds, that is double bonds and triple bonds. And cyclic compounds, you have homocyclic and heterocyclic compounds. Homocyclic compounds have carbon linked with the same atoms, same kind of atoms, whereas heterocyclic, in addition to the carbon, you have other elements also like nitrogen, oxygen, etc. These homocyclic are again divided into alicyclic compounds and aromatic compounds. Homocyclic aromatic compounds again divided into benzenide compounds and non-benzenide compounds. Heterocyclic compounds, here they are again divided into alicyclic and aromatic compounds. Aromatic hetero compounds again divided into benzenide compounds and non-benzenide compounds. See, we will go to the next slide and study in detail. What are these aliphatic compounds? These aliphatic compounds are open chain compounds. They are open chain compounds. They have only open chain and also branched chain. But you have to completely fill the tetravalency, and it should perform octet rule and have 8 electrons in their outermost orbit. So, branched and unbranched chains. It can also form single bonds, double bonds and triple bonds. For example, you have ethane, ethylene and acetylene. Saturated, you will have alkanes. Under alkanes, you are having methane. These are completely saturated, having single bonds. Ethane, propane. These are the saturated compounds. We will see the structures. What is the structure of methane? Methane has one carbon atom. It is bonding with 4 other hydrogen atoms. This carbon will share the electrons to form the covalent bond. Carbon has tetravalent, that is, it is having 4 electrons in its outermost orbit, whereas hydrogen has 1 electron in its outermost orbit. So, it forms a duplex and it forms an octet. It performs octet rule and it takes all the, it shares the electrons with hydrogen and performs octet, and it is very stable. In this type, they perform tetravalency. They are very stable compounds, methane, ethane and propane. The alkane which I have, carbon is attached to the carbon. This carbon is again bonded with the carbon, and carbon, it is bonding with other bond with hydrogen, 3 hydrogens it has, and next carbon, it is again bonding with 3 other hydrogens. Okay? This is called alkane and it is completely saturated with the single bonds. Next comes unsaturated compounds. They are alkene and alkynes. They have double and triple bonds. For example, you have ethene, unsaturated compounds. You have alkenes and alkynes. Alkenes have double bond carbons with hydrogen, and alkynes have triple bond carbon. It is bonded with other carbon. So, ethylene, the compound that contains multiple bond, that is alkene and alkyne. The structures I show is ethylene. The carbon is attached to carbon with the double bond, and the carbon is again attached to hydrogen and hydrogen, 2 hydrogens. So, carbon has 4 bonds, 1, 2, 3, 4 single bond, double bond and 2 single bond. The other example is acetylene. So, it has triple bond between 2 carbons, and the carbon is attached to hydrogen, and this carbon again attached to 1 hydrogen. After having triple bond, the other bond will be attaching with the hydrogen. So, this is the molecule of acetylene. Next comes homolytic, homocyclic compounds. What are these homocyclic compounds? They are again divided into alicyclic and aromatic. They are rings which are made up of one kind, the carbon atoms only, with only one carbon atoms. There is no other atom in it. It is only bonded with the cycle is made up of carbon atoms only, alicyclic and aromatic. In the next slide, we will go with the alicyclic and aromatic. Alicyclic homocyclic compounds are nothing but the carbocyclic compounds resemble aliphatic compounds. Mostly they resemble aliphatic. Therefore, they are called as alicyclic compounds in most of their properties. So, then next comes aromatic compounds. What are these aromatic compounds? They are also chained with carbons, only with the carbons. For example, you have benzene. Okay, our aromatic compounds contain alternate double and single bonds between them. These aromatic compounds contain alternate double and single bonds. So, homolytic alicyclic compounds are nothing but the rings form a shape of a polygon. They are closed rings. The closed rings, they form a loop. The end carbons will be attached. The end carbons will be attached. The others are H2. The end carbons will be going to attach. These are the homocyclic rings. The homocyclic alicyclic compounds. They are forming propane, cyclobutane and cyclohexane. They form polygons. Next, homocyclic aromatic compounds. What are the homocyclic aromatic? They have the alternate double and single bond between the carbon atoms. For example, you have benzene. See, these are all carbons, homocyclic, because homo means the same atoms, the same kind of atoms will be attached. These are homocyclic aromatic. Here again this homocyclic aromatic compounds this is the benzene structure. Benzenoids, they contain one or more fused benzene rings, whereas non-benzenoids, they do not contain any benzene rings. So, what are benzenoids? For example, you have naphthalene, anthracene, these are the benzenoid. They have one benzene ring in it. Anthracene has 2 benzene rings. Therefore, they are called as benzenoids, homocyclic aromatic benzenoids. Whereas, non-benzenoid doesn't have any benzene ring in it. It is the best example is azulene. So, it is a 7-membered ring. The 7-membered ring, sorry, it is a azulene. It is a non-benzenoid. It doesn't have any benzene ring. Next comes heterocyclic compounds. What are the heterocyclic compounds? Here, in addition to the carbon, you are having nitrogen, oxygen and sulfur, or in the compounds. They are again divided into alicyclic hetero-compounds and aromatic hetero-compounds. Alicyclic compounds are containing one or more heteroatoms in the rings, whereas aromatic compounds one or more heteroatoms in their molecules. For example, we go to the next slide, that is heterocyclic alicyclic compounds, that is tetrahydrofuran, tetrahydropyrrole, tetrahydrothiophene, etc. What are the heterocyclic aromatic compounds? They are furan, pyrrole, thiophene and pyridine. So, here we go with all the types of organic compounds. These all the compounds are used in preparation of medicines. They are the intermediates for preparing medicines, etc. So, what are the applications which we find in we use the organic materials? Why should we study organic chemistry? It is used in medicines. It is linked up with the environment around us. It is linked up with energy. Energy produced in us is again a organic compound. Synthetic products. What are the synthetic products which we are which we are developing these days? For example, there are different types of naturally occurred organic compounds and synthetic organic compounds. Naturally occurring compounds, as I already said, that proteins, carbohydrates, fats are all naturally occurring organic compounds. What are the proteins which are produced in our body? Enzymes, hormones are all proteins in the animals, whereas sugars are the energy giving products in our body. Fats are the storage elements. The triglycerides and paraffin oils are present in our body. So, the synthetic organic compounds are nothing but plastics and synthetic. We are making them, we are developing them. So, plastics, medicines, drugs, pesticides, dyes. For example of plastics are nothing but plastic bags, polythene. This is an organic compound. Tranquilizers, the stress relieving compounds, analgesics, painkillers, other painkillers which we are developing. Bactericides, they kill the bacteria. These are all the medicinal use of the organic compounds. Dyes are nothing but methylene blue. It changes the color. It gives color to the material. So, these are the applications of the organic chemistry. So, we are running COVID. In these COVID days, what is this coronavirus? What is this coronavirus actually? It is a severe acute respiratory syndrome. It is a severe acute respiratory syndrome which is caused by coronavirus 2 by, it was given by this name was given by ICTV, that is International Committee of Transmission Taxonomical Virus. So, how does it spread? How does it spread? The droplets generated in the infected person when he coughs, when he sneezes, when any discharge from the nose and saliva. So, in the next slide we will go for the symptoms. What are the symptoms of this coronavirus? Let us see. The fever, cough, tiredness and shortness of breath, these are all the symptoms. Chest pain, loss of speech, these are the symptoms of the coronavirus. How to prevent this? So, you have to maintain the social distance. You should wear mask whenever you go outside. You have to wear the mask, and definitely you have to sanitize. All this sanitization is very important. The vaccines are also developed. these days they are under the research. These vaccines are nothing but organic compounds. So, wherever the foreign body, what is this vaccine? It is a biological preparation which improves our immunity to a particular disease. It stimulates the production of antibodies and attack by the foreign bodies, that is viruses. It will antibody antigen reaction will take place and it will destroy the foreign body. The COVID vaccine is under research by the organic chemists of various pharma industries. Few things which I want to share is, take the healthy drink which we have. You should prepare healthy drink in the early morning, like you have to put turmeric, all these are ingredients, clove, honey, these are all the organic compounds which we are putting in this, and we have to have the healthy drink to improve our immunity. So, and put some water and have a camphor in it. Camphor, put the camphor. Camphor is again an organic compound. So, you have to put a camphor in water, put in your room, so that no disease, no bacteria and virus enter into your room, and it will be very free. It will be, you will be free of fresh air. Like you will have a fresh air into your room. So, thank you.